Good morning and welcome to this Thought for the Week. My name is John Towler and I am one of the associate priests in the Avon Valley churches. I don't know about you, but I'm afraid I was slumbering whilst the valiant English team were playing Mexico. However, it was a great joy to wake up to the news that they had beaten Mexico 3-2. Preparing this on a Wednesday, I await the excitement of the finals of the women's and men's singles at Wimbledon, indeed, all of those who will make the finals of this competition. Winning and losing, that's the name of the game. And don't we all love an underdog? Certainly the crowd at Wimbledon respond to such. I am reminded of the story in the Old Testament of David and Goliath. David, armed with but a sling and 5 smooth stones, felled the giant warrior Goliath with a targeted single shot, a bit like a penalty shot in soccer. I remember from my school days how important it felt to be on the winning side. So often I recall coming away from games feeling a bit down at mouth because our team had lost. I'm always drawn to the underdog in sport. I feel for them as they battle away to achieve success to what seems impossible odds. As a therapist and a priest, I recognize myself and others being caught up in psychological games of many kinds in our everyday relationships with each other. There is a theory called by a psychotherapist called Karpman. The theory is called the drama triangle, which is based on the fact that at times we do not want to take responsibility for the behaviors we display, so we display other unhelpful behaviors. So let me try and explain. There are 3 positions. There's the triangle. And if you can imagine that we can act like at the top, a victim, that's behaving as though we are helpless and hopeless. And then perhaps down in this corner, the persecutor, because we need to feel in control of others. And in this corner, the rescuer. We behave as though others cannot make decisions or do things for themselves without our help. You can see that immediately, if we live out these positions to extremes, some pretty horrible things can happen in our relationships. Behaving from these positions does not help us establish good, mature, open, friendly relationships, but creates an unhealthy dependence on others. So, for example, let's take the victim place. If I think and behave that I am no good, that I am a poor and helpless person, and whatever I do, I shall never find solutions to the problems which I'm faced, I shall be like a person who believes I have no control over my situation, which will prevent me from making good choices and decisions about life. So that's if I predominantly behave as a victim. If I adopt the persecutor place, I believe that everyone but me is incompetent. I always have to be right. So I blame and I criticize and sometimes punish others in trying to gain control. Playing the rescuer, I think, oh, poor little thing. I look on others as victims who cannot help themselves, and therefore I do things for them, rescuing them and helping them solve their problems. Do you recognize yourself predominantly taking up one of these positions or moving around from one position to another? I guess like the Rolling Stones song, we might sing, I can't get no satisfaction. We might indeed feel losers. So if that's a way of losing, how do we become winners? Well, in a nutshell, as victims, asking for what we need and therefore seeing ourselves as making good choices and decisions. As a persecutor, making it clear with one another what needs to happen without blame or criticism. And rather than being a rescuer, we become a carer, caring and supporting others rather than doing it for them. We might then feel that we are winners. I make a plea here. Please do not beat yourself up if you recognize some of this losing way of being. We all do it. We're all in this together. No one escapes playing these games. And we play most of these games very often unconsciously until someone bravely points it out to us. So can I suggest that we start thinking of ourselves as winners and learners rather than winners and losers? Let us look at our setbacks as opportunities for personal growth rather than to beat up ourselves with permanent failures. I hope this is how those who lose on the sports field can look at their performances, opportunities for growth, rather than negatively. You know, on the face of it, the heart of the Christian faith seems like a game for losers. God's Christ dying on a tree. But if we dig a little deeper and we find that we can live from a place of victory, of winning, for love is stronger than death. That's our faith in the resurrection. Because winning is Christ's way. Thank you for listening.